Today, we're looking at the word hair and the branch like effect that it has, whether you actually are living with your heart ignited or a lack of care. We can look at both, right? We can start where you are right now. We can make sense of what's directly in front of us. Like, there isn't some only once this happens, then we get to the root. No, let's make some sense of where you are in your life and starting with maybe your circumstance, maybe your holistic situation, your season. You look at those trees, right? Whatever the weather brings us, there's not a thing. Of course, there, when I say there's not a thing, I'm looking at the fact that we are not meant to alter the weather. And there are aspects that we will play around with, right? Hence the salting and the plowing of the roads. Cool. But your circumstance, where you are today, how you feel right now, and taking a moment to sit with that wind, whether it be something fiery, whatever element is brewing inside of your cauldron. Like, you have the capacity, surely, to feel and to let the sail show you which direction the wind is pushing or pulling. And so, when you're taking a step back, because that's essentially what we're doing here, taking some time to build a bit of space in your relationship to the way that you move on a daily basis, right? Because a lack of space is pretty much like this absence of breath. It's as if you're claustrophobic or your mind isn't moving. You're sitting in a stagnant river, right? Where bacteria and, baby mosquitoes, etc., a place that we don't necessarily need to live. So when you look at your circumstance, your environment, the things you may want to be different, like what can you do today to let yourself feel new? And it may be, right, something as simple, practical as coldness, cold outside or the cold water in the shower, something that snaps you out of your mind. That's pretty much what we're talking about. The word space in this context is psychological. That's almost obvious, hopefully. But if if you hear what I'm saying, that's implying that you're strong enough to admit that sometimes you have that sense of a depression, right? And when we look at the word, right, it almost screams a form of depression. So you're losing the air, if you will, when you're depressed. So how do you stop the thing which is sucking the air from you if you're depressed? And usually, what creates depression is the mind being stagnant, right? Because when we talk about stagnation, that is the mind hooking or grabbing onto a place which it cannot stay. For example, let's say that the river's flowing, right? You have a nice river moving at a solid velocity, and you want to hold on to the rock, but the water's just pulling you and pulling. So it's actually hurting you more to hold on to the rock and to stay stagnant in that moving river. That's what we're talking, you know? So on a daily basis, the nature of life is movement. That's just the innate essence of what we've all chosen to do. We've been brought here. And when you begin to feel that the universe has laws, right? Like this dude speaking to the camera who looks cool right now, he didn't make up the laws, nah. But holistically, all humans have the capacity, the wisdom, the awareness, the sense to tap into their universal nature. That is to stop resisting the flow of the current, right? So now I'm not acting as if I never get stuck. Please, please don't fool me like that. What we're looking at though, oh, who's that man? What we're looking at though is the essence of, yeah, okay, I'm strong enough to admit and feel what it is to be not moving, to be stuck, to be trapped in some sense. Okay, so if I can admit that I get trapped, then I can also have the capacity to look at how I create that trap. Yeah? And the nature of the mind and thinking, it's really this trio, the trio bridging from one point, which is memory. Then we have our knowledge and our experience too, right? And as we are thinking on a daily basis, it's all according to who we think ourselves to be, our knowledge, our experiences, our memory. And if you watch that mechanism work and you really watch it work, then your brain, your thoughts, the way that your cells work, that changes because you're not just a stagnant being, right? A human being. You're breathing without even doing the effort to breathe. Now, right? Everyone has a meditation practice, a breath practice, right? Do that. Do that. But you get to a point where it's like, man, what's this doing for me? You drop that. Then maybe you pick it up again, but your relationship to the breath work isn't so disciplined where, you, right? This is what happens. We have pain, then we think someone knows something that we don't, so we view them as a authority. Then we want to be like them, which creates more pain, right? Because we're not happy with where we're standing now. The whole essence of this video is to take you listening to this right now and say, you know what? There's not a thing stopping you from enjoying this day. There's not a thing stopping you from feeling amazing right now. So, and this is paired with the deeper truth of understanding your nature, looking at what you are from a energetic standpoint and sitting with the things that you do which create the energy which you harvest, right? You sow the seeds which create your life. Love you.